Welcome to Daybreak. In the top right corner from Team Dignitas, it is Bischu. And Bischu is one of these players that people kind of said he was a little bit shy, reserved, but when we did his profile interview, which, you know, like Mr. Bitter was able to conduct a really nice talk with him, he was very warm, friendly guy, really cool. If you ever get an opportunity, Bischu is an awesome stand-up act. Just whenever you can, go talk to him. He's a really cool guy.
I think we need to talk about his manners real quick because he did something that I thought was probably the most fantastic thing ever for this particular matchup.
Oh yes, actually, yeah, this match almost never happened.
Yeah, this is a postponed match. If you didn't know already,
yeah.
Ryung and Bischu are actually in Division 4. Bischu and Ryung agreed on a time that was a ridiculous time for Bischu. It was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and like Ryung, like it was basically to the point where our admin is like, I don't think I can even suggest that to Bischu. Why do I say 4 a.m. to my opponent?
Exactly. And Ryung was like, no, I can't do it any other time. He's like, this is if you want it this day, I can't do it any other time. We're like, well, we'll give it to Bischu. Bischu said, okay, that's awesome. He gets there, and Ryung doesn't show up.
Yeah, Ryung actually just did not appear. He was offline, no one could find him. And Bischu's like, that's okay, we'll reschedule some other time.
And I'm like, what? I would have actually like headbutted someone.
No, it's 4 a.m., man.
Exactly. It's like I woke up.
Like that's when I need to go to the gym. I go to the gym at like 4 a.m.
You cray. You cray.
I do. My sleep schedule is so backwards, Andre.
Is it really?
It really is.
Oh, I thought you were
like
just
I wake up at like 1 p.m. and I'm super tired. I come to the office and like I'm like, what is this? Like, what's going on? I'm like, is Hurricane Sandy coming here? And Morgan's like, no, Frodan, it's the sun. I'm like, what is this? I can't handle it. And then I just realized, you know,
wait,
this is what normal people get up at normal hours.
Frodan, that's terrible. You don't tan enough. That's the problem.
I am plenty
GTL,
tan.
bro. GTL.
I am plenty tan, Andre. I'm golden toasted to perfection.
I would say so. Again, Ryung doing a one-base build, as you can see. Putting a reactor on top of his factory. This is something we've been seeing more and more. But I don't like it, Frodan. I just don't like it.
Why don't you like it?
I feel like the best counter to this is throw down the assimilator and go Stargate. MC did it. It was the most fantastic thing.
Yeah, he did the Phoenix thing. It was really cool. Wait, we're talking about the same game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phoenix shut down
Yeah, Phoenix
everything.
is really cool.
Phoenix shuts down everything. You have a medevac? Goodbye. You have Hellions? I pick you up. No problem.
You have SCVs? They die.
They die
You have
too.
floating buildings? Guess what? Phoenix has killed those too.
You have mules? That's so important to your economy? Guess what? No mo mules.
You have Thors? Well, you pick up all their SCVs repairing the Thor, and then you send in the Immortals.
Do you know what I call that? I call that a headshot. Because that's how good it is.
And I think that'd be really cool, though. I would like to see more Stargate play, but it's just the fragility of Stargate units with the versatility of Marines. Like, Marines are just so good against Void Rays and Phoenixes.
But Frodan, like the Stargate play, it actually lets you be so much more greedy in the mid game. Because think, I can go Stargate play anticipating dropships being shut down from 10 to 12 minutes. You know, when medevacs are normally going out in the field. So knowing that, it's like, well, I don't need to actually have any units back there. I have the most mobile, fastest units in the game that shoot down anything in the air super fast unless it's a corruptor. And I'm good to go.
Yeah, if only it was that simple, though, Andre. Not everyone's as good as you at this game.
That's true.
But what's kind of cool, I really actually like that EXP leveling system. I'm going to go home and grind a lot of games tonight, Andre, because I want to see how it works out. It just gives another cool incentive to ladder. Which, by the way, if anyone is wondering, a new ladder season has started for 2012, Season 5. So if you didn't get a chance to get Grandmasters, now you can. Hint, hint, Andre.
Woo-woo. But I already got Grandmasters.
That's true. If you look up Andre's career, it says Grandmaster. Nice little orange star.
It's awesome. A little fake medevac, maybe? No, probably not. These Hellions are going to over in the top middle.
Oh.
It has nothing in it, but those Hellions will probably join up with that medevac momentarily.
Yeah. There's actually a cool thing that Terrans have been kind of experimenting for a long time, and no one really committed to it, was the medevac was empty, they go into the main, and then they run by into the natural. We saw a lot of it in Season 3. I feel like it's a stylistic thing.
Do you know who well, sort of. Do you know who invented that?
The first time I saw it was Jinro doing it.
It was actually Boxer.
Yeah, in Brood War?
In Brood War.
Whoa, way ahead of the curve. And just like this, these Hellions actually being able to get in before any kind of defense. And as a result, picks off a few units. The medevac's flying straight over to the Stalkers, though. And that's a nice little, I guess, silver lining to Bischu. Oh, nice force field as well. Hellions do get full scouting and information on everything that the Protoss player is doing, but that could have gone way worse for Bischu.
That's right. I think Bischu is way ahead because of this, though. He has the robotics facility tech, which is so powerful. When you're not on 2 bases, it's so hard to actually say, yeah, I can afford that Viking count. Because remember, Vikings are really expensive. If you're going 2 at a time, that is 150 mineral, or excuse me, 150 gas every 42 seconds, I believe. So you, I don't want to do this math.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's 225 minerals approximately a minute.
Well,
okay,
you did that really quick, Andre.
225 is just below the income of your gas off of 1 base. So that's a big problem, because if you're only making Vikings, what else are you making? Marines? Well, yeah, they're effective, but they're not going to be super effective to the point where you're going to be self-sufficient against the mass arsenal of the Protoss. So I feel like Bischu definitely has a big advantage, and he's going to do the right thing. He's adding additional gateways. He's going to do a big Colossus timing. Knowing that his opponent has no capabilities of getting a big Viking count out. And
although, Andre, Bischu did lose his observer, and he was in the middle of trying to poke to see if Ryung expanded. So he's not sure if maybe he's moving out to do a follow-up 1-1-1, or if he's expanding. Yeah. So this is a little bit tricky. I feel like if Bischu moves out, he is kind of risking the fact that his opponent might be moving out. But at the same time, that's kind of what you want to do too. You want to prevent the tank from getting into a good position.
Really interesting build that we have from Bischu, though. He hasn't gotten his 3rd and 4th gas, which, and he's only pushing out with 2 Colossus. No, he's going to wait for the 3rd one.
He's also trying to deal with this Banshee back to natural, being very vexing towards the Protoss economy. So do you think Bischu's in a very good spot from this?
Yeah, I do. Just the composition is so powerful. Medevacs are just now coming out into the field. You need Vikings. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. Bischu is getting the right composition.
3
mass
Colossus
zealots.
Push.
Exactly. He has mass zealots to tank a lot of the damage from the tanks. The Marines can do damage against them, but the fact that you have Guardian Shield is going to be so helpful. Colossus mow down everything. If Bischu plays his cards right, he should be able to just mow over everything. Like this whole defense, even though it's set up and everything, doesn't matter, Frodan.
Yeah, now Bischu has 3 Colossus. He's getting pylons into position as well. And he sees the tanks, has to be kind of careful. Very nice tank positioning from Ryung. He can actually cover both entrances as long as he has vision of it. But still going to be tricky because this push is so intimidatingly big. Oh, the factory's kind of out of spot too. You want that factory to kind of keep a spot onto your opponent's army. Bischu, which angle is he going to choose to come from? Looks like he's coming in from the Terran 3rd.
Very. You want to lead with your. Okay, I don't mind leading with the Colossus, but you have to know what you're up against, and of course he doesn't. No matter what, I mean, this is going to be doing a ton of damage. Look at that, chrono boosting pros back at home, really intelligent, saying, okay, well, I know you're going to react to this pretty harshly. I can go ahead and start chrono boosting stuff. He can actually tech switch. Yes, Twilight Council is going down, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have High Templars and no more Colossus after this. But coming through to a new angle, 3 Colossus, still it doesn't matter, you have Vikings, but the fact of the matter is there's just so many Colossus, you can eat a lot of damage. So there's still going to be a lot of stagnation in terms of the mobility of the Terran army. You're going to see them beat down for about 2 to 3 minutes, and that's where Bischu either needs to take some huge grounds in economy or your composition.
Yeah, and I mean, it's already forced a huge reaction out of Ryung. He's prioritized a 2nd starport instead of armory and another engineering bay so he can get upgrades out really quickly. Because, you know, as a Terran, you always feel like you had to start upgrades because Protoss can chrono boost and you feel behind. And in that regard, Bischu has that mind game because that 2nd starport making Vikings when he's already transitioning at Templars is really effective for Bischu. And now Bischu also has charged upgrading, so he's got everything really working well for him as long as he's given around 3 minutes time in order to really harvest from all the productional benefits. The only thing is that Bischu also has chosen to stay on 2 base, which is also kind of smart because if you go to 3 base, you're spreading yourself really thin and you're risking a counterattack from Terran, and then you lose a 3rd, you lose everything, and there goes the game.
Yeah.
So. A lot of Frotorp has played super greedy in that regard.
No, I love how Bischu's been playing this. I think really investing on your army composition is 10 times more important than investing on your income. Just judging by the fact that Ryung hasn't gone ahead and taken his own third. So he realizes, okay, my opponent is going to be doing very heavy 2-base aggression, but he's had tempo control, which does help quite substantially. Okay, a Nexus is being dropped. This is going to be probably the point of contention. This Nexus dropping over here is actually really, really risky. I actually don't suggest it since he went 2 Forges, Twilight Council, High Templar Archives.
And he's getting Storm.
And he's getting Storm. Like, these are all things that aren't actually adding to your armory. Now you're putting down a 400 mineral Nexus. It's not going to help out as much. The Viking count has kind of gotten quite
Ryung's almost maxed. Ryung has a huge army.
Yeah.
He's going to have to fight very cost efficiently. That's actually a really smart move by Bischu. Needs to add to the cost efficiency. Does he have Templar into his army?
He does.
He does. The Storm's about to finish, so that's going to be useful, but only 2 Storms. I mean, you're going to need a little bit. You're going to need a little bit more than that, Andre.
No. Siege tanks are already put in good position. And oh no, the charge is going to be wasted, Frodan. That's a big micro blunder right there. The Storm is going to go down. But all this damage is being done to the Zealots that shouldn't have been done. Oh my goodness, you need to hold position on those. Colossus go down, look at that drop. Ryung just beautifully doing this. And there it is, GG.
Yeah,
that
GG gets
single
called.
charge, you want the charge to be going directly to the tanks, not towards the units in front. He did a beautiful job by just putting a pack of Marines and Marauders up there. What you're supposed to do is hold position, let your Colossus kill everything, let your Stalkers kill everything, and then attack move in. Let that charge really be used on the rest of the units. But once you do that, all the units, they clump up into a big ball, and then the Terran army just converges on that single point, and they're slowed from the concussive shell. They can't really get to your opponent until the next charge recycles.
So would you say charge was really important for that last?
It is, man.
It was just that. No, I understand completely what you're saying, because I was about to reiterate you, Andre. You can make an argument that the Nexus is 400 minerals, and maybe 4 Zealots wouldn't have made a big case, especially since Ryung wasn't making that the point of contention. He was saying, I'm going to fight you at the natural. One thing is that when you let the Siege Tank get into that kind of good spot, especially when he has a Raven out for point defense drone, able to make sure to take out any kind of observers, because if there was such a big Viking count, you really need to prioritize it. You're absolutely right, Andre. Stretching himself a little bit too much. He was going for 4 upgrades. He was going for High Templar, Storm, Charge, and +1/+1. And 3 of those, or actually all 4 finished. But by the time they finished, he didn't have any production behind it. He had 2 Templars. 2 Templars. And it's like, well, that's great, man, but what if you invested that 450 gas, or even not even get the Templar Archives, get just an incredible amount of units.
3 more gateways, too.
Yeah, and just reinvest in other areas.
Right? Going Zealot Archon for the rest of the game is actually a perfect thing to do, because the Viking count is pretty high. Archons actually take out Vikings substantially faster than Stalkers. You're actually looking really good in just dealing damage to a Marine Marauder Siege Tank army.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Bischu had the right idea if he was given like 2 more minutes. Like, obviously he would have been able to crush that attack. But Ryung struck at the right timing, and as a result, takes the game and the series. That game was brought to you by Stamps.com. Go to NASL.tv/P/Stamps for a specific. Actually, I think it's $5, right? It's $5 coupon still going on. If you use that link, you can have hassle-free postage from your PC.